Hello, friends. I'm glad you are here. In Genesis chapter 37, we meet the dreamer, Joseph, and his special coat. Now, the first thing that we learn about Joseph is that he brings a bad report about his brothers back to their father Jacob. The second thing that we learn about Joseph is that his father Jacob loves him more than any of his other children. And so right away, we know that this is an interesting story. I love the story of Joseph. I love all the Bible stories. And I am so grateful for this opportunity to show you why. Go ahead and take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. And tell me, how does the story of Joseph make you feel? How do you feel about Joseph and his brothers? How do you feel about their parents and their life circumstances? How does this story make you feel? And where in your body do you feel those feelings? In your chest? In your neck and shoulders? In your gut, or in your legs or your feet? Where in your body do you feel this story? And have you ever felt this way before? When? Where were you? What was going on around you? Is there anything in your life that calls forth these feelings over and over again? Why? You see what we just did there? We invited the story of Joseph into our hearts. Now, if you're anything like me, you did a little bit of online COVID retail therapy over the past year. And maybe one of the things that came to your house required a little bit of assembly. I'm thinking specifically of a piece of IKEA furniture that arrived on my doorstep earlier this year. And in that kind of situation, it is really nice to have a clear, rational instruction booklet that shows you every step you need to take to get the desired outcome. And some people might say that parts of the Bible are like that. Book of Leviticus comes to mind, and Proverbs, maybe the Sermon on the Mount. But Bible stories are not like that. This story about Joshua is not supposed to make rational sense. It's supposed to make you feel something. And the feelings that you feel about this story are packed with interesting information. Information about you, about what kind of person you are and what kind of person you want to be, about how you perceive and interact with the world around you, and about your own unique connection with the divine. Bible stories, like all good stories, do not have a moral that you can stencil on your dining room wall. Bible stories, like all good stories, have gifts. Bible stories like this one about Joshua are full of hidden treasures of wisdom and spiritual growth to be mined by anyone who has the courage to invite the story into their heart and then pay close attention to what unfolds there. And the Bible is packed with stories like this one. Think about this. Who do you like to follow on social media? Do you have a favorite writer or blogger? Do you have a favorite podcast you like to listen to? Do you enjoy their content because it appeals to your rational mind? Or do you follow them because they speak to your heart. I know, right? The stories that we find compelling, we love not because they appeal to our rational mind, but because they make it past the ticket counter of our rational mind and into the real show of our heart. And once something gets into your heart, whoo boy, watch out, because the human heart is that wonderful and mysterious realm of spiritual alchemy, where learning and growth take root and where wisdom is born. So, as you discuss and reflect on this part of the Joseph story together today, I encourage you to pay soft attention to how this story makes you feel. How do you feel about Joseph and his coat and his dreams? How do you feel about his brothers, Judah and Reuben? How do you feel about Jacob and the Ishmaelite Midianite slave traders? How does this story make you feel, and where in your body do you feel this story? When have you felt this way before, and why? What does this story about Joseph and his family want to do in you today? May the Holy Spirit be your guide as you encounter this part of the story about Joseph. And may you mine its riches for your wisdom and growth. I too am Matthew Yoder, one of the many. No, not that one. And I'll see you next time.